Hi everyone, we are here in the Total Event Resource Office watching the Site Global Conference. Absolutely thrilled that Site Chicago once again won 2 awards in Chapter Excellence. We won for our Young Leaders program and also for our Excellence in Special Events for Holly Trolley. So excited.
I have the distinct honor of presenting the Site Chapter Excellence Award in Young Leaders. It's offered to a chapter which has supported a strong and vibrant young leader community through various chapter initiatives with a focus on personal growth, with a focus on development of these young leaders within their larger site community. You know, this is really important to me. This is where I started my career in the incentive industry. So I'm super excited to be the first to announce this award. So my trusty red envelope here. And the winner is Site Chicago. Congratulations.
Accepting on behalf of Site Chicago is Colleen Brzezowski, 2020 president and the board. You know, Site Chicago's Young Leader program includes a combination of separate young leader engagements along with intentional interactions between junior and senior industry professionals. These include private meetups, pre or post chapter events, along with opportunities for intimate conversations that are less intimidating for young leaders. In addition, the chapter offers a strong mentor program. Through these initiatives, Site Chicago is proud to have increased young leader membership by almost 4% year over year and touts a consistent representation of 20% of young leaders at all chapter events. Congratulations to Site Chicago.
So glad to see some of you guys all online. It's great to be engaged with all these awards. I know how hard you worked on this, and the Site Chapter Excellence Award and Special Event is awarded to those chapters which demonstrate creative excellence in delivering a significant event or activity that highlights the benefits of site membership. And I got to tell you, like Kev says, I think we had over 200 chapter events globally, and I feel like I tried to attend most of them, from cake building to panels to trivia. I mean, you guys thought of it all, and it's because of you and all the volunteers out there that we are such a strong site community this year. So without further ado, to announce the special event, I have my little red envelope here. Special Event Award for Chapter Excellence Special Event. Again, Site Chicago. Congratulations.
Colleen is back to accept on behalf of Site Chicago. She's the 2020 chapter president and she's with the board. Site Chicago's flagship event, Holly Trolley, is a 5.5-hour progressive event featuring 3 Chicago venues with private trolley transfers in between. Aligning with Site's mission, the event was designed as a local incentive-styled experience for members to increase engagement and build new business connections. Touches such as signature food and beverage experiences, gifting, and themed decor were incorporated, as well as an event flow encouraging networking with a wide range of attendees. Additionally, the chapter took strategic measures to meet their desired member and buyer-supplier ratio. Congratulations once again, Site Chicago.
Holly Trolley. So excited. We wish we could be in person and celebrating that with all of you, but in true Site Chicago style, we will make sure to do that in person down the road. So with that, just want to say thank you to everybody who supported us throughout the year, attended our virtual events, connected with us online, interacted and engaged on our social media channels, and we just look really forward to seeing you all in person very soon. So this is our unofficial AGM meeting, and we'll be sending out more information in emails and planning more events as the year progresses. But with that, this is my last meeting, and I get to officially hand this baby over to Lorraine.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you, everyone. I'm very grateful for the opportunity to be the 2021 Site Chicago president. I have big shoes to fill for sure. Thank you for everything that you've done, Colleen, and our past president, Diane Murray. We're looking forward to 2021. We understand that we're not out of the woods yet, but I'm so impressed with our board, our industry, and how we're looking ahead and how we're changing, and it's going to be a good year. So part of the things that we have to do for our annual general meeting is tell you a little bit about our finances. So I'm going to turn this over to our Director of Finance, Diane Murray, to give us an update.
Hello everyone. Unfortunately, we are in good standing at this time, mostly because we didn't have any events to have. But we did, our virtual events brought in some funds, so we're in good standings. We are able to include 5 scholarships that we have been awarded at the end of last year. Thank you to those prospective members who registered for those and were awarded. And we are also proud to be able to continue our contribution to Site Foundation with a $3,000 check that we will be sending out. So thank you, and continue to support Site Chicago. We love you all.
Thank you, Diane. Please note you'll be getting some information from us soon with our intended events and networking and educational opportunities coming throughout the year. So take a look at your email. We're also actively looking for some additional committee members. So if you'd like to participate with us, please come and play. We're looking at some new and exciting things for this year. And I just wanted to introduce you a little. They're not here with us, obviously, but some of our new board members from this year. We have Lisa Crolius, who is Director of Membership. We have Alex Bacalus, with BCD, who is the Director of Young Leaders. We have Justin McCrae, who is a co-director of our media department, as well as Marcella Zuniga. So they're taking over our media, communications, social media, all of that. So we thank them for coming on board, and we have our existing members who are staying with us. But look for their updated bios, pictures, and events that we have coming up, and we look forward to seeing you all very soon. Thank you very much.
We want to thank the entire 2020 Board of Directors for all of your time and efforts over the past year. Thank you. And now, introducing your Site Chicago 2021 Board of Directors. Lorraine Bellis, CIS-CITP President. Colleen Brzezowski, CIS-CITP Immediate Past President. Rose Hippert, CIS-CITP Director of Administration and President-elect. Bonnie Coop, CIS-CITP Director of Education. Alexandra Bacalus, Director of Young Leaders. Lisa Crolius, CIS, Director of Membership. Justin McCrae, Co-Director of Media. Marcella Zuniga, CIS-CITP, Co-Director of Media. Diane Murray, CMP CIS-CITP, Director of Finance. Now join us for some Site Chicago highlights from the Site Global Hybrid Conference. We look forward to meeting in person next year in Dublin. Highlights include storyteller sessions with Bonnie Coop and Marcella Zuniga, and then Aoife, our Site Global President, asks questions with Alex Bacalus.
So 2020 has been quite the year. I started off going to the Site Global Conference in Vancouver and had an amazing time. And then shortly after, I came home and my husband had what we thought was a routine doctor's appointment, and we ended up finding out that he had bladder cancer. We didn't know the extent of the details, just that some tumors were found, and they removed what they could. But we had to wait to get the pathology back. So all of this is, of course, kind of going on during the height of COVID, or the start of COVID, I guess. And we were struggling to get everything done in the course of, with doctor's appointments and everything. and we were able to get him in for a second surgery in the first week of March. So I had just come off of a long program in Miami, was dealing with COVID situations and people being scared, and then come to go and say, okay, I have to take my husband into surgery. So we found out after that surgery, he was in stage 4 bladder cancer, and it had moved into the muscle and into the lymph nodes. So not only was my office, Total Event Resources, amazing, being supportive, but I had the family of Site Chicago behind me 100%. They started to reach out instantly. They did everything from sending a beautiful peace lily and an amazing meal to help us out during that time. And then, you know, of course, we went into shelter in place on March 13th, and we kind of were at this, well, we're going through cancer and chemo and everything, and we're kind of isolated from all of our friends and family. So having Site Chicago be there for us and just being able to reach out to them and say, hey, I'm really struggling to get this piece of this done. Can you guys help me? I've got 6 appointments this week. Who can help? And everyone was more than willing to jump in, ask what they could do, take on some additional pieces of the work, and really, you know, step up and be that extension of my team as a group for us. Of course, we're going through all of this during COVID and are stuck with nobody in a sense. And we went through chemo, and that was probably the worst thing that we've ever had to go through. And, you know, you can't be with them because of all of the restrictions. And so we're just kind of sitting there and going, well, what do we do next? And we ended up having to go through an extreme surgery in June. And it was very risky. And we ended up finding out during the surgery, he ended up having not only stage 4 bladder cancer, but he had prostate cancer on top of it. So he had quite the road of recovery ahead of him. And all the while, Site Chicago and our team has been there and just reached out and been so supportive and saying, what can they do? How can they help? And being that family that we needed during this time when you can't have anyone in person. He is 6 months in remission. We actually just had his last scan in January. And so he is now 6 months cancer-free. And so we are so thankful that we have made it this far. We actually took a trip, thankfully, in over the holiday, and were able to celebrate that we made it through COVID and we made it through cancer. And we enjoyed we actually enjoyed a trip down to Playa del Carmen and just said, you know what, life's too short. So go live it and enjoy it. I'm thankful that my office has been so supportive of my role within Site Chicago and being on the board for the last 3 years, and soon will be another year. But really being able to have a family that's an extension of not only my office team, but just a group out there that's an amazing group of people and has been so supportive of us.
Hey, it's Marcella Zuniga from Chicago, and I'm so happy to be here today to talk to you about Poppy's Cards. This is an interesting story, actually. I grew up always thinking that I was left-brained and I did not have a creative ounce at all. I was always very analytical. I loved to read. I loved math. But when it came to arts and crafts, I was really rubbish at it, to be honest. And my boyfriend, Brent, he came from a family of crafters. His Nana craft, his mother craft, and his both of his aunts actually were major crafters too. And so this past June, actually, his mother came to help us move, and she brought a bunch of crafting material with her. And when I say crafting material, she brought material to do greeting cards. And so she brought construction paper, and she brought pretty paper and a bunch of stickers and a paper cutter. And we sat down and she showed me how to make greeting cards. she had heard that I always sent birthday cards to my clients. And so she showed me how to make a few, and I watched her and I followed her direction. And I thought, this is interesting, but it didn't really take. And a couple months later, we went to Ohio and we were visiting with Brent's Nana. And she had the most beautiful crafting room ever. And I couldn't believe how much pretty paper was everywhere. She had all kinds of, when I say pretty paper, I mean like this really pretty stuff where you have all these nice designs. And she had so many different stamps that were organized. So stamps like of turkeys for Thanksgiving. She had stamps like this for Valentine's Day. She had stamps of pineapples and words that said thank you. And at the time it was Halloween. And so it was Nana and Brent's Aunt Tracy that were making Halloween cards. And so there was 3 different designs and I followed along, and I really found that it was therapeutic to make cards. Who would have known, right? And so I was following along and I really enjoyed learning from them. And then they said, okay, it's time to go inside the house, Marcella. And I said, no, actually, I want to stay in the crafts room and make more cards. And they're like, oh my God, she's hooked. And so I stayed with all of the Halloween stamps because I thought, well, all the material's here, I'm going to stay and play. And so this was something that really kind of taught me a new lesson about myself, that I actually was a creative person. And so that weekend, we went back to Stowe, where Brent's mom lives, and she took me to an art and craft store, and she bought me my first paper cutter. She bought me all my pretty paper. She bought me a bunch of stamps. She bought me glitter. She bought me an embosser. And she thought, you know what, if this girl thinks that she's got it and really enjoys crafting, I'm going to help her get started. And so I really turned to making greeting cards as a way of not thinking about having a job and being able to just put my energy out there on the table and come up with some cool designs. And it helped me in my quest just to kind of, you know what comes to mind, I'm just going to put it on paper. And so then I realized that I actually had some really cool designs that came out on the paper, and I put them on Facebook. And we have such a wonderful community at Site that I thought maybe I can make a couple bucks doing this. And so I came up with a name, and that's Poppy Cards Shop. And I designed a logo with a graphic designer, and I also created a little shop on Etsy. And clients within the Site community started buying my cards. So I had clients buying my cards, I had colleagues buying my cards, and I actually made $1,000. So it's not quite the same as the money that I used to make when I was employed, but it definitely gave me a confidence boost, and it showed me that I am creative. And it's taken up some time where, I was worrying about not having a job, and it's something that I really enjoy doing. And I really owe it to Brent's mom for giving me the opportunity to show me something that she really enjoys doing. Had she not kind of taken my hand and said, let's just give this a go, it doesn't matter how it turns out, just give it a try, I would have never taken that first step. And so these are a couple of my cards. As you can see, it's cardstock. You put pretty paper, and then you just kind of design it by putting what type of sentiment that you want. So here would be something I did for Christmas. Here's a thank you card. Here's something for Valentine's Day that's coming up. And then this is something that I had done for Thanksgiving. And I would say too that this has been a great way to stay connected during COVID, everyone loves receiving cards in the mail. So it's been fun for me to be able just to send cards to family and friends and clients as well. So Poppy Card Shop, if I can help you out in any way, let me know. And thank you so much. Take care.
So this is a conversation that I'm particularly excited about. I'm joined by Alexandra Bacallis from BCD Meetings and Events. Hi, Alex. Thanks for giving us a bit of your time.
Hi, Aoife.
So the Young Leaders community is what we're going to focus on today, and it's particularly a topic that's close to my heart. That's what I've grown up in within this industry. It's what's gotten me to where I am today, and I'm definitely very passionate about anything to do with young leaders. So thrilled to hear what you have to say with these questions. So thank you. We're going to start off with a question about the theme of the year for SITE, which is Build Back Better. So we know it's not business as usual. We know that we all want to build back better as we start to rebuild our brands, our companies, our personal lives. I'd love to hear from you what's something new that you're focusing on this year.
Absolutely. So in 2020, we really, shifted to that virtual world as many companies have. In 2021, I think we're going to see more hybrid events and that shift to live coming back. We did actually have a few live events in 2020, but we know more live is going to come in 2021. So I think me personally, I'm just going to continue really trusting my gut and trusting my team and leaning on them. This was a year of a lot of change, a lot of, unknown, but I saw how much my team showed up, our industry showed up. So I'm going to go into 2021 with more courage and just trust that it will all work out.
I love that message, courage and trust. Very smart. Going into the young leaders community within SITE specifically, which I know is something that's close to you as well. Do you have any stories that you can share about that community and how it may have helped you benefit where you've gotten yourself to within your career to date?
Absolutely. So I can actually share a quick story that just happened to me recently. So I was leading one of our SITE Chicago Spark and Speak sessions on mental health and well-being. And I posed the question to all the attendees, why did you join today? And actually 3 people said they joined to support me. And just funny enough, that's just what SITE's about. I mean, I always feel like everybody's showing up for each other. And in that moment, I said, this is why I'm part of this community. So I truly found some of my best friends in SITE. We text, we message, and support each other across companies. So I'm excited for when live returns and we can all see each other, and those handshakes and hugs will be a little bit more special next time.
Oh, I love that message. That's such a nice support system to have there, and something that will grow as you come out of the SITE Young Leaders community officially. It's not something that goes away, those deep relationships. So that's a wonderful story to hear. I like that. What about advice for our young leader community? Is there anything that you would like to impart with your wisdom on how they can look to build their careers as we go into 2021?
Sure thing. Yeah, I think one phrase I live by is the worst thing someone can say is no. I've lived by this for a very long time. I share it with my team members as well. I follow a LinkedIn page called The Female Lead. I highly recommend it. And recently they posted about not self-rejecting. So it's just another reminder to not say no to yourself, not self-reject. And the worst thing that happens is somebody says no. So I always say, ask for these opportunities, lean in, always put your name out there. I always joke about a virtual or an imaginary suggestion box to my team, throw your name in the hat, throw your idea in the box. And I always find it works out. And opportunities like this come around when you always throw yourself out there. Another quick piece of advice is just for young leaders, it's important that we pay our dues. We're learning and being humble through that time, but also know your value. Just because we're young leaders doesn't mean that, we can't make a difference. So I think it's important we remember our value as well.
Oh, I love that. You heard it here from Alex, guys. You know your value, remember it, and get involved. So a good plug there for the young leader community while we're chatting. Fantastic, Alex. Thanks for your time. Really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for joining us. We look forward to connecting with everybody soon.